Look at this! Let us commence the feast. 3, 2, 1, go! Look at all of this. I put it on the wrong place. There we go. It was on the right place. Nice. Items are really out. Yo, Slim is literally doing power gifts. This man is on fire right now. Came back to CC. Lit. Dude, look at this, dude. Look at this. This man is insane. Dude, look at this. This man is on fire. Look, dude, I have no voice because I've been talking for the past like 2 hours. It's actually so laggy, man. Look at all the dude. I'm getting like 100 items, dude. She's doing more. Honestly, most of the giveaway is not even my doing. It's really just Liv doing it. So, we did it. My table is a little messy. I hope you guys won't mind that. I mean, you can't even see the table, but it's fine. Y'all remember that one like poster that I had on my wall? It's like a Super Mario post. Check it out. It's right there. Isn't that cool though? I mean, it kind of became a meme of mine, but I guess I kind of just looked at it. I don't know. So, hello everyone. It is me, BlackSonatta here, and welcome to 300 subs. As of yesterday, by the time that I'm recording this on a Saturday, I believe. My channel hit 300 subs on this Friday. And I wanted to do a little video, you know, just talking about what's on my mind and, you know, just, I don't know, I kind of had no ideas for like what to do for this video. I kind of just like turned on my camera and did it. I'm not a very huge person of, you know, looking into a camera. Honestly, I always hated it. Like, just the fact that people can, you know, watch you and like judge you, it's kind of a turn on for me if you can look at it that way. But I figured I would try it. You know, I figured I would, you know, give it a try. Maybe I can change my mind. I don't know. I'm doing this because I ran out of ideas, man. Just give me a break. I kind of did a lot of thought about doing this video because, you know, hitting 300 subs, you know, it's a cool milestone for me and all. I even did like a whole live stream. You guys saw the clips and the montage that I did earlier in this video. And lately I just realized how much impact I have in just people in general. So I kind of just wanted to do this video to talk with you guys and you just give a little bit of my story, if you would call it that way. I feel like over the years, I have known a lot of people and I've got to know a lot about those people, yet they never quite knew a lot about me. Just because, you know, I kind of tend to leave my story private, you know, people don't exactly need to know my story. But, you know, being friends with people for so long made me realize that maybe I should express myself a little more. Just give my backstory, if you say. So that's the main, you know, spiel about doing this video. Just, you know, sharing with you guys and telling a little bit about myself. Now, I wanted to start this off by saying I never thought myself as being a very interesting person per se. You know, I kind of just thought of me being normal over the time. But I don't know, maybe my story can be relatable to some of you. I don't even know, man. How am I gonna record it? Okay, so where should I start? Man, this is gonna suck. In 2015, I was, you know, going through my school and all. I didn't used to be a very likable person. I always got bullied. I'm not gonna really talk about this because it's not really necessary. But it was about that time when I found out about cubic castles. You know, just, you know, scrolling through YouTube, I found this YouTuber and I figured, you know, he's playing that game. The game seems fun. I might as well try it. Eventually that day, I decided to install the game and, you know, give it a try. And maybe I found out that the game is a lot more fun than I thought, and more fun than I saw it in the video. It was the first time that I actually experienced being in touch with so many people before. Obviously, at that time, I didn't know a lot of English, so I mostly just stayed in the Brazilian community at the time, which was still a very big community. It was actually the biggest in the game back in like 2015 to 2016. So I kind of just stuck with them, and it made me learn a lot of things. And just, being with those people actually helped me out a lot on growing and turning the person who I am today. It was a very unique experience for me, to say. Anyways, growing up in that community, I joined up a couple of clans, just doing some work here and there. And as time went on, I started learning a little bit more about English, trying to get a little more grasp on, how the language works. And then in 2020, I figured I would try something a little more different. Spending through 2015 all the way to 2020 was, I kind of just stayed in the Brazilian community. I worked with a couple of clans here and there. And back then, those experiences were, in one side, they were a lot of fun. But then on the other side, I suffered a lot through it. I used to be bullied a lot in this time. Eventually, I even got down to get threatened. The point being, in around 2019, I figured I would take a break from the game because of a lot of stuff that was going on in my life back then. And in 2020, in the beginning of 2020, I figured I would do something a little more different. Back then, I used to create a lot of YouTube channels for, just posting about random things that I did on the internet and that kind of stuff. And I figured, why not do it with Cubic Castles? And that was exactly when I started this channel, BlackSonattaCC. At the time, it wasn't really called BlackSonattaCC. It was actually called A New World because it was my old name in the game. And I think it was one of the best decisions I've ever done back then. If you look at my old videos, you would realize that I was not good at all with English pronunciation. My vocab was really good back then, but actually saying things was really hard for me back then because I didn't have a lot of guidance on it. And at that time it was, actually an idea of mine to actually start a channel so that I could, actually practice my pronunciation. And that's exactly what I did. In 2020, I released a Overworld update video back when the Overworlds, released. And looking back at that video now, it sucks. I'm not gonna lie. My pronunciation sucked, the video quality was terrible. But it was the first time for me. And unironically, a lot of people liked it back then. Looking at the comments back then, there weren't a lot, obviously, because I was literally starting my channel. I didn't have a lot of ideas about what to do. But still, it was a fun thing to do. And, being able to record that was a little fun, right? I kind of had a lot of fun. I started to get a little more into editing, which, was a really big thing for me because I really liked, editing stuff and making videos. And that's what I did. Eventually, I would, release more videos. I released stuff like a parkour video where I just played a bunch of parkours. I released a bunch of commentary videos where I would just talk about random stuff. So the slime costume video, that video was really funny to do looking back then. The Krampus video was, really nice to do as well. And yeah, just, going through that time, it was really fun, just being able to create a lot of content and expressing myself, really. And then from 2021 all the way to 2022 was a very desolate experience. At that time, Cubic Castles was really losing a lot of players. People weren't as active as they were back then, from like 2015 all the way to 2019, I would say. And not just that, it was, a bad experience for me as well. I was going through a hard time yet again. But that was when I got the idea of starting events. Just doing events for the community. And maybe it would, help out the game in the slightest bit. That was what I was expecting back then. But I had the idea, was a new territory for me to step in. But I figured I would do it. I joined up with my friend Custom Shotgun, and he built a Coliseum for me, which eventually would turn out to be the PvP Coliseum that I use to this day. And then, we would build the Coliseum. I would create this event that I called Sonata's Mayhem Month, which was, I think it was on January, where I would just, every weekend I would do a PvP game. And doing it was really fun, just seeing everyone fight each other, it was like amazing. And the fact that I would put some prizes on it really incentivized people to actually go for it, which in turn made a lot of people join in. People would eventually ask me to create a clan, which I eventually did. I got my friend married to, make things a little bit easier for me, which was a huge help back then. I really appreciate Mary for that. And then I made a decision that time that I really wanted to focus on events. I felt like events back then was a really huge way to bring new people to the community and also to keep people who already played the game in the community, which helped out a lot back then. Every weekend I would host a PvP event, a soccer event, or a basketball event, or any event for what it's worth, right? And it kept a lot of people. I would average like about 50 and 60 people in like one event, which was huge back then. That's when I realized that I had a lot more influence on people than I realized. Eventually, I would end my event, and then I would talk with some people who were still there, just trying to look for something else to do. And then eventually I would get like some messages, and like some players would reach out to me and saying, dude, the fact that you hosted an event today actually helped me out a lot. Just, people who were going through a bad day and they like found out something to do. And that thing was my event, right? Seeing those people talk with me and expressing their gratitude to me was a very humbling experience for me. I think it made me realize at the time that I made something that was actually helpful to a lot of people. And then that time it actually just broke me. It was really shocking to see the fact that I actually helped someone by going through a bad day. And that was a huge shock to me. I feel like one of the things that make me happy the most is seeing other people happy and, just being able to make other people smile. And those events were actually just everything that I needed to make that work. And I feel like I've never been the happiest person ever just doing that kind of stuff and seeing the amount of gratitude that people would have towards me for the fact that, this simple and like somewhat stupid game that I decided to do in that one particular day actually helped someone go through some bad thing that kind of just happened. And it was shattering to me. It was big to me, honestly. Anyways, going through 2022 was the moment where I realized that my health was at an all-time low. I would basically do no activity. All that I would do is stay in my room for like 20 hours a day. Only, sometimes going to school. Because obviously, right, I need to do school. I didn't need a lot of healthy things. I was really depressed at the time. And a lot of it was because I have spent so much time playing Cubic Castles. I would play the game for like 20 hours a day. At the time, playing Cubic Castles was, one of the happiest moments that I had in my life. But I also realized it was one of my worst moments to exist. And the moment that clicked inside of my head, I quit. Something flipped inside of my head that made me realize just how stupid I was being at that moment. And I just quit the game. Looking back at all of that story now just, again, makes me realize how dumb I am for not noticing how stupid I was. In the end, I decided to go for a healthier lifestyle. I do running every weekend or anytime that I can, honestly. But anytime that I get, I'm running or doing cycling, which I really enjoy. It's been honestly great. I also started to eat better and it boosted my morale by a lot. It was really amazing for me to to notice that just changing these little bits of my life actually helped me out go through it a lot better. Now I also barely play the game, which is kind of unfortunate because I still love playing the game a lot. It was at that time that I also realized that I am actually on the autistic spectrum. I am actually autistic. Finding that out wasn't as worrying as it was surprising to me, honestly. I just kind of looked at it like, I kind of just looked at it and being like, wow, that's insane. But point being, all those changes in my life made me realize that I started caring a lot more about people, and that kind of made me stop caring more about myself. And that was huge to me. Now I realize that, I know that I have a lot of influence in other people, and seeing them happy is really gratifying to me, and it also makes me really happy. But if I'm not happy with myself, how am I gonna find the happiness in other people? And that just kind of helped me go through my life. I feel like if my story has something to say to people is that maybe you should take a little more care about yourself. It's kind of cliche seeing from like people like parents saying stuff like, oh, you should get out of your phone a little bit more and go walking. There's a whole meme about touching grass, I mean, literally. But that meme is actually really true and it's actually really helpful. Maybe we should all touch grass after all. And if doing that little change helped me out a lot in my life, why wouldn't they help you? I would say give it a try, honestly. Just start being a little more healthy and see where it goes from there. We've always had so much fun staying on the internet and all of that stuff. But sometimes we need to just stop and take life a little more calmly, I guess, if you can think of it that way. I don't know, man. I'm just a 16-year-old talking random stuff on the internet. Maybe that can help you out. I don't know. Anyways, changing the topic, moving forward, I kind of don't know what to do. I'm gonna be honest. I've thought of doing a little more variety content here on this channel. I created another channel for that kind of stuff, but the idea didn't went so well. I kind of just uploaded a couple of geometry dash videos that I end up, recording. But I don't know what to do next. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna do more Cubic Castles content. I have thought of doing a couple of tutorials and some guides for, new players who are just entering Cubic Castles. And I'm still working on that idea, and I'm hoping it's gonna be a lot of fun. And hopefully that can, work out in some way. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. Thanks for everyone who subscribed for this channel and believed in me for all of the projects and all of the events that I did. Reaching this milestone obviously isn't much, but it means a lot to me. And following everything that happened in my life, it's a very motivating thing that I managed to do this, and that I managed to be where I am, pretty much. In the end, thanks for everyone who joined in this wild adventure. I appreciate every single one of you who, subscribed to my channel or just kind of stuck with me until this very moment. And I hope to see you guys at another time. Thanks to everyone who watched this video until the end. I hated doing this video, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not very good with, emotional kind of videos. But in any case, I appreciate you guys watching this video. And as always, have a wonderful day. Peace.